Okay, so I'm going to talk about the simulation for a few videos because I really want to do a series on it, and for the believers to understand that when you walk in the Spirit, which is agape and truth, when you walk in truth and agape love, you're outside the system, and they know it. So what they try to do is cross your boundaries. They try to provoke you. They try to indoctrinate you. They try to tempt you. They try to do everything they can to pull you into their drama, their Draco Ma, the he said, she said. Really, there's really no reason to talk bad about anybody unless you're just talking in general to help somebody. In other words, not specific people, but certain behaviors. What you're doing is, if you're born again, you're saved, you're a member of the body, you're building up the rest of the body. Just like this finger wants this finger to be strong. This thumb wants this finger to be strong because you can grab hold, you can grab deep spiritual truth, right? You can grab something, you can function, you can do something. If you're lazy, that's not the spirit walk. If you're angry without a cause, that's not the spirit. And it says, be angry and sin not. That's not the spirit walk. So when you're walking in the Spirit, you're outside of time because you have the mind of Christ. You're in Christ. Jesus is outside of time. You're outside of time. I showed the videos in real time. I could talk about something, like I could name something right now. Drive around the block, a few blocks, and it appears. Now, am I magic? No. I just understand that everything's in series after Christ, so everything else is in series. Like, what's that over there? That's like a little scooter thing, okay? So there's a little scooter, and I see a little frisbee on the side of the road. So let's just drive a little bit and see if a scooter, some kind of scooter. It was a bluish, whitish, and a green frisbee, I think. You're in a simulation. You don't need to eat as much as you're eating. You definitely don't need sugar. That's what blinds people. Makes you weak. It depresses you. See, they know if you're saved, you have spiritual gifts. And so they got to, it's just like the movies, you know? The movies talk about these gifts that people have, right? Well, you have a gift if you're saved. You just have to exercise it. And you have to ask. If you don't have one or don't know yours, ask God to give you a gift. Whatever. And He's going to give you something you enjoy. Like decoding. I enjoy this. It's like to decode that sign right there. You know. I was a math person. I wasn't an alphabet person I was a math person. So here's the deal. Whatever you want to do it. Long as God gets the glory, you know. And as long as it's in truth and agape, you got it made. You really got it made. If you got a health problem, focus on that. Do some fasting, study, become your own doctor. It takes about a year. If you really study all these different doctors online, you find common denominators. And what's the common denominator? Drink more water. Sleep, no sugar, cut back sugar, you don't need sugar, cut back carbs, eat more vegetables that are healthy, eat the superfoods. All you have to do is Google superfood and go get the superfoods. And you really don't need to eat every day. You can eat every other day. The mice, they did a study on mice, and the mice that ate every day lived 2 years. The mice that they fed every other day lived 4 years. There you go. They doubled their lifespan. And if they doubled their lifespan, they were stronger. Do you want more strength? Do you want more perseverance? Do you want a clear mind? Do you really want to think right, function right? Really? Just like you maintain your car, you change the oil, you change the tires, you rotate the tires, you maintain your car, right? Same with everything else. It's really amazing. So here's what they're trying to do. The high level Gnostics, the high level agents, they know it's a simulation. And so they know if you wake up to the simulation that they can't control you and they can't enslave you and they can't harass you, intimidate you and all that stuff, because really they have no, it's finished. Jesus paid it all. It's already finished. The sun's going to come up tomorrow just like it came up today. And so there's really no game that they have that they can mess with you on unless you submit to it. You can actually see it before it happens. They're going to try to encroach upon your space, your peace, or whatever. They're going to try to do it. It's just what they are. They're Roadrunner. I mean, they're Wile E. Coyote chasing Roadrunner. They are Wile E. Coyote, and they can't stop because they're stuck in the repeat around the mountain, the cycle. They can't stop. What they try to do, here's what a Jezebel, here's what a Delilah or female Jezebel will try to do to you. I don't know if the men do it to the women or not, but this is what the female Jezebel tries to do to the men. So what the female Jezebel tries to do, she tries to pull you into the flesh, right? And so if she gets you to drop, if she drops you down in the flesh, you drop down in time, right? You drop down in the cycle, the repeat. This is why Paul says it's better to not touch a woman if a man can. Nevertheless, let him get married to avoid fornication. So let's say you were going to marry somebody, you thought, and you realize this person had evil intent from the get-go. You can't change them, you can't fix them, and you decide to walk away. You step away. They don't expect that. They've never seen that before. And so when you just say, I'm done, they might go away for 2 weeks, try to come back. They might go away for 30 days, try to come back. They don't understand how you can just say, I'm done. Because your identity is in Jesus, not in them. Your identity is not in a human. Your identity is in Jesus, period. Jesus is your sustaining force. Yeah, you might mess up, you might sin, but you keep short accounts. You go back to God, claim the blood, and you try to make it right with whatever you've done. You try to make it right the best you can, but you can't always talk to somebody, and they don't even understand what you're saying most of the time. So back to the simulation. So once you see that the spirit walk is outside of time, you might experience time in your flesh body. Let's say you get tired. Okay, even when the sun goes down, it's really the same moment. The only difference, your body might get tired. You might need to sleep, right? So let's say you need to sleep. So your body's experiencing a cycle. Now, when you do fasting, you break the biggest cycle is survival. Your biggest cycle that you have is survival. So when you start fasting and you break the food cycle, what did Jesus say? Some things only come about by prayer and fasting. Why? Because you're bringing your body vessel, your avatar body ship, under subjection. And when you bring your body under subjection, everything else is easy. When you bring your body under subjection, you don't. The biggest need of a person is to eat, right? That's that strong desire to eat. When you start eating right, you don't even get hungry. Your stomach don't even growl till about 24 hours if you cut back sugar and eat some coconut oil, stuff like that. What am I going to get? I'm going to get some. I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get some. It's that breakfast stuff. What is it called? It's You go to a restaurant and they say, "Do you want some?" I used to say, "No, I don't eat that," but it's got folate. It's good for you. What is it called? You eat it with eggs, bacon, and they'll serve it up. It's a southern thing, I think. Grits. So I don't even. This really has no taste. You can spice it up, and make it taste good, but grits are really good for you. And it's cheap. You can actually during this seriously ridiculous scarcity lie that they're putting on us, the inflation and then the recession's coming. During this inflation/recession, you can overcome really easy. Grits are cheap. Eggs are cheap. Liver pudding's cheap. The stuff that's really good for you, the superfoods, dark chocolate's cheap. I saw dark chocolate at Family Dollar for $1. I should have bought like 50 of them. Dark chocolate is a superfood. Salmon's a superfood, but it's expensive right now. But you wouldn't have to eat the whole. You could actually split it up into portions. If you're fasting every other day and you're eating coconut oil, MCT oil, extra virgin olive oil for pain, and you're eating some seeds, portions, smaller portions, and you're keeping a log on how you feel and how much you need. Spirulina, the astronaut food, and flaxseed, chia seed. You can actually get to a point where you don't even want to eat because it's taken away from you accomplishing some stuff. I got to the point when I was remodeling that one unit that I'd get up and I wouldn't eat till about 2 or 3 o'clock, and I wasn't hungry, and I got a lot done. But if you can't see the simulation, I understand. And the reason I would say it's hard for a married person to see the simulation because you got so many distractions, but I could be wrong. But I know I couldn't see it because I was married to drama, right? If you got somebody, if you're married to somebody who doesn't want peace and quiet, but always has to be doing something or causing drama or having attention or whatever, and fighting and arguing over stupid stuff, then you might not be able to see the simulation. That's what I'm saying. But when you do see it, let's say you go about, see what happens is you see the simulation, but then some kind of tragedy or drama or stress or something drops you out of the simulation mindset that you forget that you're just playing it's like a video game. You forget that you're in the video game. And so you get upset, right? But once you snap out of that, you're back to peace. You're back to the simulation. You don't have to stay in it too long because you'll catch yourself. If you make an effort for 7 days that you're going to stay in peace 24/7, 7 days a week. I'll give you an example of how the system tried to steal my peace today. So on the rideshare, you have all these different cards that you can download your money to. So I tried to delete this one card. It wouldn't delete. And the lady on the other end, she said, you got to go to this company to delete this bank. And I said, I've already tried that. I've tried it 6 times, calling you guys and all. She said something about they charged you $20 some. So I thought, 20, what? So then I called, I couldn't even get in touch with the bank. So I had to do the typing. I said, why'd y'all charge me $26? And they said, we didn't charge you anything. I said, well, my account's closed because I didn't have the card. It's been gone. I wanted to delete it and make sure the balance was clear. I said, can I add another card or whatever? No, you have to go to them. And then they say you have to go to the bank. And then it's just back and forth. So then I finally just said, whatever. If y'all won't delete it, they won't delete it, I'll just leave it sitting there, you know? But while I was in the middle of that, I thought about the cartoon, Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. And I knew that every day there's going to be a down, but there's also going to be a success. Every problem has a solution because the solution was there before the foundation of the world. Every problem already had the solution. It's just a drama. It's just the snake, the sine wave. It's just time. A clock can be plotted as a sine wave. A sine wave can be plotted as a clock. So it's the cycle. And so those cycles are moment by moment, hourly, daily, 24/7, monthly, yearly, century, 100 years. There's cycles. Now, if you pay attention to people, when you see the simulation, if you don't see it yet, then just pray about it. But most people, they're all fighting and arguing and upset and trying to get through the line real fast. And they're all stressed out. But when you see that it's just a 3D drama, it's kind of like you're watching Jerry Springer right here. And everybody's, I got to check my phone. I don't want to upset them. I'm worried about this or I'm worried about that. Don't worry about it. Do something about it. Well, I got to get tires. Well, do a part-time job and do a temp job. Do a gig and pay for your tires. You know, be proactive. So what? If you have to go somewhere for 4 hours a day and do a part-time for a season, especially during Christmas, you can get a job at FedEx right now for sure. Let me put this on pause. I'm to the point now, I know it's such a simulation, so instead of putting my coat on to go in here, I'm just going to go like I am. It's a little bit chilly, but to be honest with you, that's good for you. Resistance and a little bit of suffering is good for your body. It's good for you to experience some cold and some heat and you just experience some face-to-face problems, because once you know it's a simulation, you know the problem has already got a solution. The solution is already there. Just like the food, the vitamins, grits have a lot of vitamins you need. Who would have thought that grits were that good for you? The solution was there your whole life, but the doctors lied. Everybody lied to you. Everybody lied to me. The whole system's believing lies, you know. You can actually eat one of these potatoes raw. Sweet potato, it tastes pretty good raw, to be honest with you. If you're following up, just because somebody else does it doesn't mean it's right, you know. You gotta think outside the box. Which aisle's your grits on?
Sorry?
Which aisle's your grits?